Good morning, traders. I know about you guys, but I had a great weekend. And you know what that makes me feel like? I want to have a even better week. I hope that you guys are ready because of course it's going to be action-packed earnings, economical calendar. Everything is coming in this week. I mean, where we could be at the end of the week and the start of the week, it could be two different places. Either we can be just ripping through this bull market because the bigger stocks kind of continued riding higher, or things can change around. Find out if we flip right here on Live Trading.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. I mean, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right. Good morning, traders. It's good to be with you guys. Let's go ahead and bring on the boys here. We got Ryan Faloona. We got Nick Brown back in it. Of course, he's ready to get after it. News by Nick. Of course, he'll be bringing us some great news throughout the show. And if you guys have any catalyst you guys want to check out, maybe a little bit deeper dive, just let Nick know in the chat, and he'll work for you guys to go ahead and look a little bit deeper. Now, Ryan is going to start us off with a little bit of I would say definitely not something you always want to hear, right? One thing is Ryan and I have been working together at Benzinga now, I think for 4 years. And for a while, we also did this trading journey interviews where we were trying to get to traders and really understand their journey, right? And I think Ryan has some news to kind of fill in for us. But like always, one thing that I would say about this is that we want to keep trying to find the community out there that wants to push each other to that next level. So if you guys know traders or investors out there that are really helping each other, let us know because we want them a part of the Benzinga family. So I'll let you kick it off, Ryan.
Yeah, and so welcome everybody. I hope that you all had a great weekend. I'm sure I did. One of the things that happened over the weekend is we actually lost a pillar of the FinTwit community. As Mitch said, my growing up in this industry pretty much started with FinTwit. I used to do an interview series where I would interview traders about a bunch of different things. And over the weekend, we actually lost one of the greats. We lost Rob from the Strat. He's often known as the father of the Strat. Rob Smith, his Twitter handle is Rob in the Black. I went ahead and put it in the chat. He passed away on Sunday night. So really, really nice guy. I went to go meet him, see his entire operation. Could not have been more welcoming and warm to me over the number of years that I've been doing this. Always there to help people. One of the nicest people that I've ever met, as well as the community that extends under his reach. So just for the live trading audience here, just wanted to do a very quick moment of silence for Rob, who was one of the nicer people that I've ever come across. All right, folks. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and do Rob an honor today and make some money in this market. We are going to capitalize on anything that we see. Really appreciate that. Hope that you all had a great weekend. Mitch, Nick, how was your weekend?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I'll talk a little bit more about my weekend coming up as let's get to the stock market. We can talk a little bit more about our weekend a little bit later. Let's
you go see Barbie?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was watching this weekend. I had it on repeat. I just stayed in the movie theaters all weekend long. I was the reason why those millions hit the box office. And Nick, don't lie, you were right next to me. I heard you cheering.
Or Oppenheimer. I don't know which one's better.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely do like the kind of the lead from Oppenheimer, of course, from the Peaky Blinders. But I gotta say, I didn't watch it. Did you watch any of them, Nick?
I did not. I had better things to do.
Yeah, you had some better things to do.
Sorry.
I can't blame you either. Let's get to the stock market, of course. We will see what happens. I'm going to be trying to take some more shots in Mumu today, of course. I'm up to 626 now and trying to keep pushing, but we'll see. I'm up about 25% on the small account challenge and trying to keep it going, right? We'll see what happens. Can we get that a little bit higher and continue climbing the assets overall? I mean, I have 3 day trades today, so I'm really putting them to work. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go and talk about the swing trade action. I still got Valero. I still got on this one. This one's been a big run here. I'm not going to be mad about this one. Look at that. Nice little 4-day lift. So if when you're taking swing trades, this is kind of what you want to see. I mean, straight 4 days of nice green on this chart. So we'll see if Valero starts to pull back a little bit today. I'm up about 5.6% on Valero. I'm probably going to be taking the gains here. We got no problem to take the gains and look for it to come back towards 118, 120, and then I can get back into the name. But this has really started to take off, and I think you're going to start seeing other kind of stocks really start to push. Look at the XLEs, really starting to get strong here. So energy are some stocks that I'll be looking for some upside action. SLB has been pulling back. It had the earnings, and it didn't really go anywhere. Halliburton is kind of like right there. Those are kind of some stocks that I keep a watch on. SLB, Halliburton, see if they can start making a move up. We'll see what happens on these oil names. I also got BJ. This is one that I'll be looking to really get back into that gap and take it out. So I'm looking for a move to 69 this time, and a move
Nice.
to 60. We'll see what happens. I played this one before for a little run into the gap, and I sold it right there at the 66. Now I'm just looking for the continuation back in there. Walmart, I would want to see continuing to the upside, and I'd want to see Costco continuing to the upside. And just recently, I put out a talk on Dollar Tree that I'd want to see this one close the gap. It's almost there already. You can see it on the daily. Once it closes that gap, it's going to start looking a lot better on Dollar Tree. We'll see what happens there. And of course, you can keep your eyes on some of the smaller names like DG and Ollie. Ollie's recently had a nice little lift off. I've been talking about this one. Why? It's a cheaper name, right? Bargain Outlets. Oh, look at that. That's a nice little takeoff. It's late. I also have Valet. We'll watch what happens there. CCJ also on watch today for some day trading action. We'll see if those can go higher. And final one, Ross Stores. As I look for this one to kind of come pushing back towards 120, I'd want to see TJX get the up move and not really take out the 85. If this one can make a move to 88, I'll be looking really good on TJX. We'll see what happens on Ross Stores and these types of plays. Of course, more your discount retailer. And I'm looking for those to get the lift. Why? As we get closer towards back to school sales, that's when I'll be looking for Ross Stores to really get some mentions that people are going to the alternative. They're trying to get some cheaper clothes than just going straight to the brand stores. We'll find out what happens there. All right, getting out of that action, I'm going to kick it to the boys here. I'm going to go to Ryan first, and then we'll go to, of course, to Nick Brown with some of the news. How we looking?
All right. Well, let's take a look. Let's start off here taking a look at the SPY. Obviously, we have a huge week this week with earnings ramping up and then also an FOMC stuff. So one of the things that we're looking for is which direction are we going to break out of this flag? We currently have the formation of what looks like a bull flag on the daily here, really kind of traded up into this range, and now we're consolidating around here. So what's going to be really important are going to be closing candles on this daily for the SPY. We really want to determine where we might go next. Now, some of that might be moot. A lot of what's going to happen this week is going to depend on the earnings data that we get, how those companies trade after their print, as well as some of the or whatever comes out of the FOMC meeting. I'm going to let Nick preview that and kind of handle that for you on an ongoing basis. Nick, you've been doing an excellent job with the news. I do want to go ahead and run through some of the stocks that are in play here today. First thing that's going to be in play today, folks, this is going to be a busy week. And guess what? The meme stocks are back. First of all, let's start with AMC. Late last week, we got a news that AMC had the company's, excuse me, I'm trying to read something that's posted today about something from last week. The catalyst here today, AMC shares are trading higher after a court rejected the company's proposed plan to convert preferred shares to common shares and implement a stock split. So that is driving AMC higher. One of the other things that we've noticed is some of the former meme stocks are also starting to move. Cost is going to be one of those. That's on the list here. Also, TUP is one of those that's going to be on the list here. We can check GME here. Looks like this was up a little bit back down here. any of these former meme stocks that have really gone bonkers before are at minimum at least watching or putting on some watch list here today just to see if we get any type of technical move that we can capture. I don't know where these stocks are going to finish, but they're absolutely going to be in play. And you're already seeing here today AMC trading on huge volume. So I have no position in any of these. I'm going to react to what I see once the market opens. I'm not trying to get involved here in the pre-market in some of those. So just kind of some awareness here. Couple of these meme stocks really moving. TUP, this is actually one from last week, had a huge day last week. Nice little day trading entrance. This is, of course, Tupperware. You're all familiar with this. And then we're even higher here today. I suspect that this can really get wild today. And I think now if 134 is our pre-market high print, but realistically, if we get above that 134, 135 range, look for TUP to be kind of crazy today. Costs, AMC, TUP, these all kind of fit into the meme stock type deal. Next here on the list is going to be Dragonfly Energy. This is actually one that we've discussed a number of times recently. This is actually trading up here. We did come back in. Now we're crossing the VWAP. What will be interesting to see if we can actually break the top off. If we get any of this expanding volume here today, this is definitely going to be in play here today. Couple more I just wanted to review. Cleo, I know you're excited for the market to open. Okay, Bird's really excited. BGLC, this looks like this is kind of holding some of its recent gains. We really need to see if the market opens and volume flows in for this to be on the list here today. I did notice that NEO was up a little bit here in the pre-market, so we'll see if this continues and if this bleeds into any other EV stocks or stocks that are like that. Nick, I'm going to kick this to you. Cleo does like TUP, Becca. Cleo does like TUP. Oh, and 13, welcome back. Meme Stops. Costs moved this morning. That's the one I forgot. Costs. You even told me that this morning when I woke up. Oh, no, that was on the list here. Costs, this one really moving here. We really want to see some more volume pour into this name. This is actually one that has really kind of run in the past. 13, good to see you this morning. Nick, you want to go over some of the news? I'd be happy to drive here for you.
I was going to say, if you could throw up a chart of Chevron. It was a busy Sunday afternoon for me. I had to quickly hop on, reach out for some comments. So Chevron reported Q2 performance highlights Sunday afternoon, and this wasn't expected, and this came with some leadership changes. So before I give the numbers, it is important to note that in the release that Chevron released on Sunday, it says, quote, the performance highlights presented herein do not represent a comprehensive statement of the company's financial results for the second quarter 2023. Chevron will issue its comprehensive second quarter earnings press release on Friday, July 28th, 2023 at 3:15 a.m. Pacific time. That would be 6:15 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that Chevron's previously announced decision of second quarter 2023 earnings with security analysts will take place on Friday, July 28th, as planned at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. So let's get into the numbers. They reported Q2 performance highlights, we should say, of $3.08. Estimate was for $2.98. Revenue came in at $6.01 billion. The estimate was for $5.5 billion. They produced 772,000 barrels of oil equivalent at the Permian Basin. That was a record. They issued record shareholder distributions of $7.2 billion last quarter, including dividends of $2.8 billion and share repurchases of $4.4 billion. Chevron said the chief financial officer, Priya Braber, will retire in 2024 after 35 years at the company. They says Amir Bonner, currently vice president and chief technology officer, will succeed Braber as CFO effective March 1st, 2024. Now, Chevron also waived its mandatory retirement age of 65 for its CEO, Mike Wirth, who turns 63 this year. And to the Financial Times, CEO Mike Wirth said, quote, we've got strong business momentum and we've been delivering good results in a pretty turbulent environment. I had stuff that I still want to get done and I'm excited to continue. He goes on to say, quote, we've been through a lot. We've been through a pandemic, a war, oil price below zero and above $120 a barrel. We've acquired 3 companies in the last 3 years. We've got a lot of work still to get done, and this provides continuity and flexibility of the executive team going forward. That was the end of his quote. So I reached out, Ryan, to the Chevron Media Relations for comment on why they released these press releases on Sunday afternoon, which was unexpected. And they tell me, quote, board deliberations on leadership changes were complete. Given proximity to the earnings release, we thought it'd be appropriate, as many companies do, to put out certain Q2 performance highlights with the leadership announcement, including financial information. So that was the Sunday scoop that I had, that I got that comment.
Nice job getting a scoop on Sunday, Nick.
If you could turn to Apple, they reported, Bloomberg is reporting this morning that Apple is asking suppliers to produce about 85 million units of the iPhone 15 this year. That's roughly in line with this year, with the year before, I should say, according to people familiar with the matter. That's per a new Bloomberg report this morning. Apple is aiming to hold shipments steady despite tumult in the global economy and project a decline in the overall smartphone market. It's likely to increase revenue overall because Apple's considering raising the price for Pro models, said people not asking to be identified because the prices were not given yet. Its fortunes affects thousands of firms, millions of workers, and it is important to note that Bloomberg reports that Apple's production schedule is closely scrutinized because of the company's broad impact, from Samsung Electronics to Taiwan Semi to Foxconn Technology Group. Some of the world's largest corporations depend on iPhone business to drive their growth and margins. Not sure if you saw this yet, Ryan, but Twitter owner Elon Musk on Sunday signaled he would do more to take the social media company in a new direction with a rebranding that will replace its well-known Bluebird logo with an X after acknowledging advertisers have been slow to return. The change, which was evident on the website by early this morning, followed Musk's recent admission that advertising revenue remains nearly half what it was, and Twitter's cash flow has been negative as a result of that and its heavy debt load. Musk said in a Sunday post he wanted to change Twitter's logo, and he told his millions of followers whether they favored changing the site's color scheme from blue to black. He posted a picture of a stylized X against a black outer space themed background, and he said, quote, "As soon as we shall bid adieu to the Twitter brand and gradually all the birds," he said. And we also heard from Twitter new CEO Linda Yaccarino late Sunday afternoon. She tweeted, quote, "It's an exceptionally rare thing in life or in business that you get a second chance to make another big impression. Twitter made one massive impression and changed the way we communicate. Now X will go further, transforming the global town square." So once you go to Twitter, you do see the rebranding, as Twitter has now been, they changed their following to X. And people who worked at Twitter, they are now saying that they no longer work at Twitter. They now work for X. So we're now tweeting on X. And there's been some people asking, what do we call tweets? We're now saying that we're Xing. So there's that. And to end it off,
how long is it going to take you to get used to we're Xing? I'm still going to tweet, and I'm still going to say that I'm tweeting. I don't think I'm going to say that I'm Xing.
That's what I said. And to be honest, the change really hasn't been made yet in the App Store, at least the Apple App Store. I still have the Bluebird logo, so we'll see how long till that takes effect. And to end it off, Barbenheimer debut lifts the weekend box office to a 4-year high. The Warner Brothers movie Barbie was the top picture in U.S. and Canada cinemas, taking in $155 million in ticket sales, giving it the highest grossing debut of the year, edging past the $146.4 million haul from April's Super Mario Brothers movie. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer took in about $80.5 million, and an estimated 200,000 plus moviegoers bought tickets to see both new releases on the same day at chains such as AMC and Cineworld. A phenomenon dubbed Barbenheimer. The simultaneous releases energized theatergoers, helping cinemas turn in their best weekend since Avengers Endgame made its debut in April of 2019. And to end it off within the last few minutes, we've got some news out of Lyft. CEO David Risher's efforts to bolster the company. The Journal is reporting that Lyft is exploring strategic alternatives for its bike division. The company is looking to sell its fleet or forge a partnership with an investor that infuses cash into the division, according to people familiar with the matter. And the Journal goes on to say that Lyft wants a prospective buyer or investor to continue to list the two-wheelers on its app so riders don't experience significant changes.
All right. Sorry, Nick, still getting some of my windows set up here. You finished a little bit before I thought. Okay. All set to go. So we're waiting on Mitch to get back here. I do have to hop right at the open to show one of the developers something here real quick, but we are getting ready to trade here. Just kind of getting ready here. It looks like TUP really holding its gains here. TUP looks like this might go off the open here. PXMD also, this looks like this might go. Be interesting to see if it breaks out of the sideways trading. Real quick on PXMD, PAX Media shares are trading higher after the release. Top line results of PAX 101, phase 3 African sleeping sickness study. So looks like we're getting some good PR there. This might drive PXMD. MCOM, this is up, but this is just a 9-cent stock. Let's see what else is going on here. Looks like Riot took a bit of a dip and tried to bounce, but we returned to lows. Bitcoin under 30K, so watch that for the Bitcoin plays. And Apple popping here right ahead of the open.
And it is important to note if Twitter does go public again, he can't use the ticker X because that is with the United States
U.S. Steel, of course, yeah.
So maybe he'll do a 3M XXX, but
I think that's probably not the greatest plan.
Right, but you never know. There was speculation over the weekend. We'll see if they do go public. That's his hope in the next down the line, but we're still tweeting. We're not Xing, and so there you go.
Exactly right. All right, 20 seconds till the market opens here. Let's see what we got. We need Mitch back.
I was going to say, Ryan, regarding earnings, we have tons of this week. I think this is the busiest week of earnings season.
Yeah,
B of A is out. B of A is with a note out this morning, basically saying a 4% EPS beat, 1% sales beat. This is week 2 of earnings season, and 4% beat says good news is now priced in. That's what Savita Subramanian writes over at B of A this morning.
Right, we are open here. SPY first move up out of the gate, by the way. Let's see. Let's watch some of these meme stocks right out of the gate.
AMC, APE, GME. There's a ton.
Okay. All right. AMC really kind of holding here. Let's take a look at TUP. TUP holding in here. For those of you that had this last week, definitely don't let this go red on you. You're going to try and let it run here. Let's see. Here's whatever ended up happening with DWAC. All right, so DWAC really just kind of flagged, hasn't done much here today. Looks like that party might be over. EXMD, let's see if this is breaking. This is really interesting if this can get above 105, 106.
I was going to say AMC took off Friday after hours. It was up at like
and it's pulling back now.
Point. Mitch, what are you watching at the open? Anything interesting?
Just gonna see if tech just bounces back like quickly. I think I kind of expect it to already just get right back up there.
Well, that's right. We have a Fed meeting too this week. Oh boy, no sleep.
Yeah. No such thing. Ain't no rest for the wicked. I always say.
Never.
All right, we'll see what we get here out the gates here. I'll definitely be looking at even like maybe playing like a Sox Hell type of play. Like I think AMD can go higher. Stocks like that. I mean AMD's back right back to 110. So that's kind of the level that I'll be watching for it to hold here. Maybe a little bit of a wick through 110s and then a recovery. Things like that I'll be watching out the gates. All right, steel showing up here immediately, so we can look at maybe
Lucid popping
X and Nucor, stocks like that. Steel Dynamics. See if they come back today. Looking around, guys. Looking around.
TUP ripping here.
I like Google today also. Google already making that move up here. We can start looking for a pullback, but that's a nice little push higher on Google. I'll look to see if it comes back here.
AMC halted down. Good call. Find me at. Yeah, 13. I'm interested to hear how you handled that after hours trading in AMC. That was wild. I definitely stayed away from that, but more power to you for nailing it. APLD, what a rip out of the gate here. Wow. Just took out all that pre-market, went as high as 920 and stopped there. That's your spot here. GovX trading to the highs as well, by the way, for you penny players. I have the high print at 71 cents. Looks like we're trying to break out at 68 here on GovX.
All right, looking around to see what trade I can get into today.
Watch oil stocks, WTI crude, and I believe, is at a 3-month high today, back to levels
Goldman,
not seen since April 26th. You have the Robo Gasoline contracts not seen, back to levels not seen since April 14th.
Yeah, Halliburton and Slumber J going up there. Halliburton straight up from the open. That was one of my watches this morning.
U.S. is weighing a potential deal with China on fentanyl. Beijing has demanded the U.S. lift restrictions on police forensics institute said by Washington to have facilitated human rights abuses. This is a new story that just hit the Journal right at the open.
AMLX, by the way, gets a price target upgrade from Goldman Sachs here this morning. Current price 24, new price target 49. It's up 10% here today. That's worth watching. Maybe this goes some more on it. I definitely don't want to chase the green candle here. Oh, and STKH, Mitch, we got a new stock for you to be your favorite. Move over Bind. We have 3D printed steaks here from STKH. Stakeholder food shares are trading higher after the company announced that it signed its first multi-million-dollar agreement with the accredited GCC governmental body to commercialize its 3D bioprinting technology. What do you think about that, Mitch?
Keep your fake meat to where it should belong.
I was hoping Mitch was going to be like, 3D print me a steak, baby. I'm ready to go.
Hell no, bro. I only
yeah, me
like
either. I'm a
when,
sticko natural.
dude, I'm sorry, but Susie the cow has to die for me to get some food. That's just life.
I mean, you don't need to give it a name. And
I know, right?
I'm okay.
I mean,
I'm okay. That doesn't hurt
Wow.
me. There's people that are soft on that, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you eat, something had to die for it. That's the truth.
ICAD,
Whether
by the
it be
way.
plants, whether it be meat, something died, man.
I'm not commenting further on that.
Yeah, I'm moving on. I just figured I'd bring that up. Here, real quick on ICAD, though. This might be one to watch here. Remember, we printed a high near 4. This might curl up and go. I'm out of ICAD. That was 100% gain on the equity, but I'd be interested in retrading this. This formation looks pretty good here on ICAD. Keep this one on watch as well.
Netflix keeps getting flushed to the downside there and down to 420s. That's definitely taking a beating today. Tesla's trying to come back and hold the VWAP. We'll see if that holds. No, but on the real, man. Come on.
Hearing the high beta squawker talk about BBIG. This is popping here out of the gate here on BBIG.
CCJ starting to get back up.
BBIG.
That looks good there. Starting to get a little bit of a move there on CCJ. That looks like it's starting to catch that 9 EMA. 32 seems like a good level there for support. Now starting to push back towards 3270s.
PXMD trying to reclaim its VWAP here.
AMD holding that 110 for now. I'd want to go maybe one more time to 110 and then a 945. Let's start seeing if we get a reversal back to the upside. Micron has been strong as of late. You guys can maybe keep an eye out on that one. Has prior resistance is acting as support around the 65.50 level, back to 66.29s or 66.40s.
PXMD trying to move through 1 in the VWAP here. Took some at 1, hoping for a push away here on PXMD. We'll see if we get it. Come on, PXMD. 105 would be a spot to take out here. They're bringing in a bid at 102. Let's see if this can push.
Video looks like it's holding VWAP here. I'd like for it to kind of take lead and take tech higher. We'll see what happens. I'm still watching steel a little bit. I'm watching some basic materials. They are going higher. X with a nice little lift off there for 2460s. So that's going higher. Steel Dynamics is another one you guys can look at there. Cleveland Cliff, Nucor, all of them going higher right now at the gates as basic materials gets another lift up. Agricultural inputs doing well there. Building materials, copper, chemical, aluminum, coal. There's a lot of areas you guys can watch here. Lumber, wood, the whole sector is going up. And when the whole sector goes up, We got to maybe catch that. Even let's see if gold comes back to the upside. But right now, steel and agricultural inputs leading there. MOS stocks like that doing well.
TUP moving higher here. So TUP is going. PXMD really kind of falling back. I was hoping for a bigger push away here. If it breaks this low that we get here, I'll be out. I was really hoping for a push up to these pre-market highs. Have not got it here. PXMD.
All right, what's leading to the upside? Oil, baby. Valero killing it now, guys. I'm up about almost 7% on this position. It's up there almost to 126 today. Oil, man, you got to be nimble and quick on oil. I'm glad I flipped to the upside as Valero goes higher. Not looking too bad for that swing trade. And I've talked about oil overall to the upside. MPC, I've talked about. I've talked about Oxy. I've talked about MRO. We actually played that on Moo last week. EOG, all these stocks going higher right now. ConocoPhillips. Looks like it's a nice little oil day. And I talked about Halliburton out the gates. Look at that little rip. Boom. Not looking too bad out there. We'll see what happens.
TUP went, by the way, stopped out of PXMD. That just didn't work. That's a perfect example of why I normally don't play those penny stocks. They just don't seem to move the way that I hope. Maybe it'll set up after a pull. TUP here going higher here. Grats to all you TUP players. 160-year high here on TUP. We'll see if that sets up again. Nightscope curling up here, 130 on Nightscope. Maybe this really kind of pulled in off its highs. Let's take a look at KSCP here.
All right, nice. I'm going to take the profits in Valero here, guys. Just took them off there at 125.03s. That's a almost 7% gainer. And I see it go into the 200-day moving average on the daily. That could be act as a resistance later in the day, 125. I'm taking it.
Here's your daily chart on Nightscope. This is really kind of moved in from its 224 high, but maybe we bounce here and start another move. Nightscope moving to the upside here today. So we want to see some of these levels cleared out for more, but Nightscope moving here. Pro calling phase. This is another penny stock that's just absolutely ripping here, not in this.
I'll give you one that's ripping. Tupperware.
Yeah, TUP. That's the big one out of the gate here today.
Yeah, TUP. Who has their Tupperware? Down today, App Harvest. That's getting destroyed.
Apple's still at the highs here.
Lay down.
So with TUP here, this pullback to the VWAP would have been a really good ad here. I'd want another setup like this as opposed to chasing some of these upside green candles. Nightscope looking like it's trying to take out highs here. How's cost doing? Cost might bounce. Looking around here.
Yeah, I'm looking around. I'm seeing energy, basic materials, and real estate as the leading sectors to the upside. Industrials back to being strong. So Deere back up above 440s and continuing. That was a monster move. I'm still looking for pullbacks on Deere back to 425, but we'll see if we ever get it.
Kava trying to go more towards highs here. Yell moving up towards highs. Mattel pulling back off of its pre-market strength on Mattel.
Yeah, I'm sure
pulling back off of its high. Sorry, Mitch.
No, you're good. I'm sure that's just kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. Dude, AMC is such a joke. I don't know
Lucid ripping towards the highs.
I don't know how they support a CEO like that.
Did you see his open letter over the weekend?
Oh, it's even worse. It's more of a joke than
it says if we are unable to raise equity capital,
Weight Watchers
increases AMC running out of cash.
Dude,
Weight Watchers might be a potential breakout here, by the way. This $9 spot on Weight Watchers. Sorry for interrupting you guys.
No, it's just like it's kind of like a pyramid scheme almost.
They're basically going to run out of cash in 2024, 2025. If or of AMC being unable to satisfactorily refinance and stretch out the maturity of some of our debt, which is required of us beginning as early as 2024.
I got one for you guys to keep an eye out for. The Crocs going higher. Nike stronger today. Those are two that I'd keep on watch. Nike and Crocs as they go higher.
Top
Jay,
new high now,
that.
175. Your high. By the way, a Wally looking for APLD. APLD really strong out of the gate here. One of the things to keep in mind about APLD is going to be the 1021 spot and then the 1190. 1190 spot on APLD. Big move here. I wouldn't chase this candle, but if you're in it, you're approaching some decent spots here.
Hey, Ryan or Mitch, can you throw up a chart of FaZe Clan? We actually have this rumor news. It's from the Sports Business Journal. There's the FaZe Clan, the LA-based esports and gaming content outfit, is evaluating acquisition offers from GameSquare and Enthusiast Gaming. Sources close to the process tell the Sports Business Journal. The parties are all still in discussions, and sources noted the deal would include some form of an equity swap deal and a possibly cash infusion. FaZe went public on the NASDAQ in July 2022, and they're just giving some details about this. And they say GameSquare went public on the NASDAQ in March, counts Cowboys owner Jerry Jones as the majority investor. And basically, there's just the speculation that they could be partnering, or there could be another acquisition coming. So watch FaZe Clan, because I think it is near the highs, and it is coming down.
This ticker FAZE, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the highs here were 64 cents. It's pulled back to about 50 cents. But to Nick's point, watch this one here. Top new highs, 182 high. Top and very strong here. I'm going to run to the washroom, Mitch. I'm going to put your screen up real quick.
You got it, my friend. I'm taking a swing trade here on Google. Just grabbed a little piece there at 122.05. So just going to kind of keep watch on Google today to see it try to hold 121. Below 121s, I'll get out, but I would really like to see it get back to 124 and start pushing back towards the 130s. So this is a swing trade here. We'll see what happens there in Google. I like SOXL today, so I'm looking for pullbacks on that. If it can get a pullback below 24.90s, I will take a shot on SOXL today. Just looking for some reversal and then for it to come right back to the upside. Like NVIDIA is pretty weak right now, so we could see that test to the downside today. Tesla is actually pretty strong. Apple, I kind of like it today. Microsoft actually coming back down a little bit, so just be careful on that name. We'll see if this starts to turn to the upside. Oil still leading to the upside. X just ripping to the upside, not giving me a chance to come back. Steel Dynamics, a lot of them not really off their VWAP. Nucor is the one that I would maybe kind of keep an eye out for, but the spread's a little wide there on Nucor, so you got to be careful.
I was going to say, Mitch, we're just getting some economic data. Some numbers are coming in from the S&P Global Manufacturing, the PMI. This is the July preliminary, so these numbers do change. 49, and the estimate was 46.2. Previously was 46.3. The Global Services PMI, July, remember these are all preliminary numbers, came in at 52.4. The estimate was for 54. Previous was 54.4. And the S&P Global Composite PMI came in at 52. Estimate was for 53. Previous was 53.2. Remember, we do get revisions. The revisions trickle in towards the end of the month.
All right, you got certain stocks up today. Surprising one is UPS up. Of course, they do have the strike starting, but they're going higher right now in the open market. That's an interesting one. All right, Thermo Fisher going back to the upside. So TMO and those stocks, diagnostics and research, can maybe look to see if those can go a little bit higher today. DHR was another one that was getting a lift as of recent. And this looks strong today, holding in the pattern here on DHR. Doesn't look too bad there for it. Take out the Friday high, 257. We'll see if it makes the next move. DHR. All right, what else is being called out there?
DFLI. What is Mitch? This whole thing, it just screws me up. There we go. Gosh. Sorry. Mitch is
No
the
worries,
producer.
no worries.
Yeah, Mitch is the producer by trade. I'm just trying to help out here. DFLI, this is being shouted here by Jay. This one is trying to move up towards the high. Now, we did set 2 highs here. This matches the pre-market high, 274, definitely a spot. The interesting thing here is this is not breaking down yet. We are a little extended away from the VWAP, so I'm not necessarily looking to buy this right now, but definitely watching DFLI.
Hey, shout out to you, Wisdom. Glad to hear you be able to profit on that oil trade, and that's what it's all about, man. That is myself a winner, winner. You're a winner, baby. Take it, take it.
EOSE, nice little rocket today. See if EOSE can clear out some of these previous levels. 350 looks to be the next spot on EOSE for me. Ooh. Weight Watchers up near its highs again.
Carvana pulling back here to the VWAP. Doesn't look too bad for a continuation to the upside. I kind of like Carvana here for a break above 47. So at least the risk seems to make sense off 46 pullback here. I don't mind it.
Quick reminder here, Carvana short interest, 59.7% of the float shorted, only 1.72 days to cover. Sorry.
Watch SD Lauder, ticker EL. It's down like 6% right now on Piper downgrading it to neutral from overweight. Says in the downgrade of the stock that it sees, quote, limited upside right now, that they say that EL has weakened over the past few months. However, we still see enough near intermediate term downside risk to offset the eventual China recovery tailwinds that many are anticipating and factoring into current valuation. But SD Lauder, ticker EL, down heavy today, down 6% last check.
And real quick here, I'm sorry. I was trying to make this comparison before, but I got sidetracked here with one of my animals trying to kill the other one. Short interest here, Weight Watchers. This actually might be a short squeeze. 20.78% of its float shorted, 5.1 days to cover here. So Weight Watchers, this could have the juice to keep moving. New highs on Weight Watchers.
Looking for a 32.60 or 32.55 chance here to get in CCJ. So I'm looking at CCJ right now. That's on Moo here. I'll show you guys that in a second. We'll see if it can go higher there. So looking for this to kind of get right back up there towards the 33.50s on the daily in the next couple of days. So trying to set up a trade here. This could even be a swing trade here. So I'm going to try to set this up here. That's on CCJ.
A TUP coming back in towards the VWAP here. I have VWAP at 148, current price on TUP 158. I'd actually like that to touch before trying to buy and get involved there. Very, very close, but didn't hit it yet. We're still watching on TUP. By the way, DFLI curling back up towards the highs there on DFLI.
Soxel now pulling back significantly here to the 24.80s. This is kind of what I wanted to see, but now I'm going to see how low it can really go here as it's really taking a hit. The Qs is just getting smacked here. Yes, they are getting smacked. We're down to 375 here. What's going in the red?
Reversing.
Yeah, Microsoft going in the red. The big boys, right? Going in the red. NVIDIA really kind of getting a little bit of a drag down. Tesla's still staying strong, so keep your eyes on that. Meta is getting really whacked. That one did a nice little rejection, kind of a bull trap out the gates on the 1 minute, now lower. So just be careful out there, team.
TUP trying to bounce here. But I still want to wait that out for a VWAP bounce on TUP. I suspect it's going to hit that. DFLI getting interesting here. Took a small starter on this. Bang. Let's see if we can get through 274. We didn't get all the way down to the VWAP, so I don't have as big of a position as I'd like. Just have several hundred shares here. Expected this maybe to come back in towards the VWAP, kind of like TUP. But this actually showing that it's already trying to turn around, getting a little bit of that volume expansion. We want to see more of this for this to take out that 274 level. DFLI.
All right, going to look for a little bit more pullback here in CCJ, but I don't mind taking that one on the pullback here. Come on, just a little bit more. Going to put out an order here at 32.63s to try to get filled on Mumu. And we're talking CCJ. So order is out there. Boom. Got it. Was looking for the pullback fill there. Got the 63s there. Average cost 32.63s, 19 shares. Look for this to kind of go right back to the upside. And I've been doing more of like kind of swing trade outlooks on this. So the big thing for me is this is kind of like more based on even the 1 hour chart. So I'll show you guys that 1 hour chart right now, as this does look like it wants to go higher and doesn't look bad at all here. So really looking for this pullback to kind of hold. There's like a little bit of a trend line here that I'll be looking for it to kind of get the nice little lift through. So it pulls back to the trend line, grabs that. Now I'm looking for it to get back up towards kind of the 32.30s, 33.30s, really. Back above 33s is what I want to see on CCJ.
TUP struggling to get over 160. Again, really want to wait out a VWAP pull on that. DFLI kind of slowed down here right around that 268. Remember, went in smaller size here on anticipation of a move back towards VWAP. Initially, this looked a little bit stronger, like it would keep going, but not yet. Still kind of watching these here. There goes TUP through 160. 164 ask now, and there's a lot of shares trading here, so TUP bounce might be going. We'll see. I'm not in that.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's see what happens there on CCJ. If it can go higher, it's already back there towards the 32.70s, and this is kind of like a VWAP bounce type of play also. So we'll see if that can get that little VWAP bounce and go higher here through the 32.70s, back up above the 32.90s, into the 33s is what I want to see. We'll see what happens there. CCJ.
DFLI might be coming back in towards the VWAP here. TUP crossing through 170. So TUP looking like that bounce started a little bit early here. Didn't grab any of that. Looks like I bought early on the wrong stock here, at least so far. We'll see.
Remember the NASDAQ rebalance? I forgot about that went into effect this morning before the open.
Do you have a list of those stocks and what the rebalance was by chance?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I got to find it. I posted it on Twitter over the weekend, but I can get that.
All right.
TUP, that bounce. Sorry.
No, you're good, my friend.
That bounce stopped at 172. Let's see if we come back into the VWAP now on TUP.
CCJ looking good there. I want to see that just take off. I also have Valet on the swing trade. I know some people really like this stock, and tell you the truth, I'm liking my swing trade outlook. The daily just looks pretty. And so I'm looking for this to really get back into the 15 handle. And I got this from 1401, looking really nice on my entry. Bitcoin is pulling back underneath the 29,000. I could take a look at it in just a second. Just give me a second. Let me take a look how it's doing right now. It's still down, and still, if anything, pulling back. So it needs to get back above 30,000. Right now, it's not looking good. It's looking like it wants to pull back. And the next stop, 28. Let me see the low on this. 28, closer towards like 28,200s. Other than that, I don't see it right now, Michael H. And it's interesting because I was seeing Mara kind of make an up move, but that was a trap right out the gates. And now it's getting hit hard.
TUP to the VWAP. Let's see if it bounces here.
Ryan, I don't know if you saw my message, but I
did.
just sent you. That's the top 25. So today, Apple has a pro forma weighting in the NASDAQ 100 at 11.5%, followed by Microsoft at 9.8%, Alphabet at 5.7%, Amazon at 5.3%, NVIDIA at 4.3%, I believe, Meta at 3.7%, Tesla 3.4%. So they did some reweighting. And so previously Apple was at 12.1. And so now they're at 11.5. It still really isn't going to make a difference given, Microsoft, we have earnings this week. A lot of these are going to be earnings driven this week, a lot of the moves. So watch the Dow, watch the S&P, watch the NASDAQ. So like if Microsoft beats, I guarantee you the NASDAQ will be up. And if it doesn't beat, then I guarantee the NASDAQ will be down. I don't think this rating is going to change much in my opinion, but we'll have to see in the long run how that does.
TUP tried to bounce off its VWAP here. It's right at its VWAP. No bounce just yet here. We'll see.
All right, just grab some stocks L there at 62s for the long. We'll see if this can kind of get the lift now.
Good call, Crow. BBIG halted to the upside here. 446 on BBIG. TUP below its VWAP now. Let's see what else is going on here. Cost trying to bounce. PXMD trying to reclaim its VWAP. We'll see if it's successful in that. Night Scope 145.
The Night Scope.
TUP trying to actually retake its VWAP here. Let's see if this can. I'm actually going to try some TUP here on the. Let's see if we can cross through that VWAP.
There you go. You tupping it, man.
We're going to try to TUP it. We're going to try to TUP it up.
TUP it up. Just tupping up, man.
I'm gonna be really tight on the stop though, because what I'm hoping for is a push away from VWAP. If this starts to leak away from VWAP, I'm gonna be out and wait for it to set up again. I'm gonna have a real quick trigger on this. 13 saying Weight Watchers under VWAP 2. We want to see that cross. Yeah. Let's see if TUP can really get going here. Volume still looks good, but this needs to turn into some buying volume and in a hurry.
Pull back on some steel names. It's pretty significant. We'll look to see if some of them are able to hold. Cleveland Cliff looks interesting for me, but I'm looking around. SOXL going in my favor here for the day trade reversal. Now I'm going to start looking for tech stocks to actually go up. I know that sounds weird, but that's what I was actually looking for out the gates. A quick washout look. Now everybody starts leaning a little bearish. Now I'm going to look for stocks to rip to the upside. So I'm actually going to be looking for stocks to swing trade to the upside. Like even NVIDIA looks good as it starts to come back. I do have some Google, so I want to add to Google. I'm already in the green on Google on the swing trade, but I want to add here on the pullback.
Stopped out of TUP, by the way, on that move lower from the VWAP. I'll wait for that to set up again. Might not be done on TUP. I'm out of it right now. I'm still in DFLI on a smaller position here from 268. This curling back up. Really, it's neat. Let's see if this crosses. It's going to need 270 and then 274 to really get going here. Jay saying Cleveland Cliffs has earnings tonight. Jay, are you expecting anything out of that? Are you positioned for that? What are you looking at from that report? I'm sure Nick will cover that for us tomorrow.
I like it today, at least, for the rent. So it's right off the VWAP right now, Cleveland Cliff. This is the chart. Looks interesting. I like it maybe right back to that 1640s. Doesn't look too bad there.
DFLI tried to take out that 268 spot, which is where I bought. Was unable to do so, but it's trying here. This isn't over yet.
Stock fell back there to 24.78.
Wiss, good to see you this morning. Wiss, hopefully you're doing well. You find any Pro V1s this weekend? I actually dug one out of the mud, cleaned it up, hit it off the tee, and bombed it about 270. Those Pro V1s are unbelievable. Mentioning GFAI, thought I just pulled that up here. Mentioning GFAI here. Let's see if this actually reclaims its VWAP. Really need to see this volume expand, Wiss, before this looks really good. David, if you're going to yell, it's a trap, you're going to get the sound drop almost every time. I don't know what to tell you. Becca saying AMC trying to trade back up. AMC, good spot here, Bex. Looks like this is maybe bouncing off that 5 level, 5 even. So the VWAP's currently at 570. So if we get this buying volume just for AMC to start bouncing here, 570 absolutely possible on a VWAP bounce there. A bounce back to VWAP, excuse me.
I wouldn't touch AMC if you guys gave me the money to trade it.
Me either, Mitch. But the reality is that this is something that's on deck here today. It is moving, so we might as well at least mention it. I mean, like
Oh, yeah.
BBIG is another one. This is a stock that I don't trade, but look at the performance today. Impossible to ignore it. BBIG ripping here near highs, looking for 5.
CCJ now towards. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is a company we don't talk about a lot, but Aldis USA, ticker ATUS. New York Times is reporting that Aldis USA is said to be weighing a potential sell of Cheddar News. The network once billed as, quote, CNBC for millennials, less than 5 years after buying the company. According to the Times, Aldis USA has hired Goldman Sachs to help explore strategic alternatives for Cheddar News. According to people familiar with the matter, they cautioned that Aldis was still weighing its options and could decide against a sale. Representatives for Aldis and Goldman declined to comment.
The only thing I think they got wrong there was it's not Cheddar that's for the millennials. It's Benzinga, of course.
I was thinking the same thing.
Baby.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know it, Ryan. I mean, that's teed up like a softball.
I was going to say teed up like golf for me. Softball, golf don't matter.
You give me a pitch down the middle, I won't miss it. Chevron going higher, oil going higher. I wonder who was talking about oil on the flip. I wonder who was talking about XOM before the open. Chevron before the open. Gushers. Who's likes Gushers? Because it looks like Gushers doing well too, baby. Looking good out there in the oil game. I just wish I had more oil game. Like, remember, I had MRO at 24 on a swing trade last week. It's at 25.59. That's looking good there. ConocoPhillips, all of them just kind of pushing towards the upside. Phillips 66. It's been a good one there in oil. I hope somebody was able to nail that. I know Wisdom's been nailing it. He's like, I love oil. I can't blame him for it because it's doing well. All right, let's take a little peek at my CCJ trade here. It's at the 80s, continuing higher and looking great. I like the way that it's building up. Now I just got to continue to just let it do its job and just continue to work.
Jay saying, Ryan, I live on a golf course. I think I have 60 dozen nearly new Pro Vs. Okay, Jay, a couple of questions to follow up here. Number one, that's awesome. Number two, you live in Scottsdale, right? When are you going to invite me down there for some golf? I know it's really, really hot there. We probably can't play right now, but you tell me when we can go golfing and I will book a trip to come down there and see it, especially if I can hit some of those Pro V1s found in your yard. That's really badass.
You guys in your golf.
Hey, I don't know what to tell you, Mitch. It is the greatest thing in the world. It is my happy place. That is for sure.
At least you have a happy place, my friend.
Did you golf this weekend?
Yours is on the baseball diamond. Let's not even joke around. It's the same thing. Say again.
Did you golf this weekend?
Yeah, I went yesterday.
Did you do good?
I did not play my best, but I will say I've been working on some new stuff with the driver, and I had a huge breakthrough. My driver was bombing, and I was putting him in the fairway. I wasn't hitting him OB, so really happy about that.
Sox out to 24.80s, got that at 24.62s, almost selling it. I wanted to get to 25s, like in 25, maybe even 10s, but Sox starting to climb its way back. Really keeping an eye on the cues. Are we going to make another leg attempt towards 374.25s? Are we going to come back? NVIDIA, stocks like that is what I'm keeping an eye on. Apple's pulled back here to 193s. This looks like a good risk to return for Apple. So I'm actually thinking about taking a swing trade here on Apple right back to the upside today. But that's just kind of like, I could see it going back to 194 here. Doesn't look too bad on that pullback.
Real quick here, TUP looking like this is kind of settling here. It'll be interesting. Easy for me to say, my goodness. Interesting to see if this reclaims the VWAP and then gets our expanding volume. Remember, we didn't get it on that first bounce, not to say it can't happen here later today. Real quick, Becca saying Cave Creek north of Scottsdale looks like a pretty good course. Wiz suggesting a par 3 course. Jay, let me know when you come out. Jay, I will come out anytime. I got time off. I will fly down there. You let me know when it works for you. I'm not experienced with golfing in Arizona in the middle of the summer, so I'm going to have to rely on you for that one.
All right, looking for Google to come right back above the 122s. I could add to that, but I said, you know what? I'll just take some Apple also. So I took a little bit of Apple. I have some Google. So I'm taking some trades today in Soxtel. I want to see that continue to work. Tesla, keep coming back to the upside. It did a little VWAP pullback. We'll see if it goes back to the 259.
TUP coming to this VWAP here. Let's see what happens here on TUP, folks.
All right, guys, we don't have any interviews after this, but we do have, of course, the Baker Trader Show that's coming up at 11. So stick around, team.
Real quickly, Jesse saying, Ryan, go in the winter. Jesse, the last time I went to Arizona was in February, and it was spectacular. I'm definitely hoping to go again. Ryan, wait till the end of October, early March. So end of October through early March, I think is what you were trying to say there. That's when I came last time. TUP, by the way, through that VWAP here. Let's see if this goes now. TUP through the VWAP. I didn't take it. Oh, it didn't take it yet. We'll see if this comes back into the VWAP here. TUP trying.
She's battling here.
BBIG flagging here.
She's starting to come down here. We'll see if they crack or not.
Yeah, Jay, that's kind of what I've been experiencing. There are so many people moving to Arizona, they jack up rates in the fall. Look, I'd be willing to come late summer. Again, just let me know what makes the most amount of sense, and I will try and arrange it. And as far as the sun goes, some sunscreen, water, no alcohol, there are ways to mitigate that. TUP going here, by the way, guys. TUP going. Darn it. I should have entered that. So this is what we were talking about here. Let's see if TUP can really get rolling here. I'm actually going to look for entry. Mitch, am I crazy for trading Tupperware? I need a sanity check right now.
I mean, it's a momentum stock. So, I mean, at least you're trading a momentum stock on a momentum day.
Okay, so I heard a no there. All good, Ryan. Keep going. Thanks, Mitch.
Exactly. You know, one of those kind of things.
Yeah, $700 to play True North. Yeah, I'm good on that.
We'll look to see if AMC can come back up. We'll look to see if the Qs can come back to VWAP. They haven't wanted to come back to VWAP and could take another leg lower. The SPY is hanging in there around the 453s. Wouldn't want to see 453s crack here.
DFLI
right back to the upside.
DFLI, folks, this is finally going. 274 going to be that spot. Let's see what happens here. TUP really struggling here. Might be getting a little heavy.
AMD starting to
Watching
come back.
TUP and DFLI here. Sorry, Mitch. Sorry.
You're good, my friend. We're just watching two different plays. You're watching the momentum. I'm watching the market.
Let's see what TUP's going to do here.
Little part of me even likes NVIDIA.
Did you just say Blue Horseshoe likes NVIDIA?
I said even I like NVIDIA.
I'm hearing stuff today, folks.
No, I think I heard that as well. I'm not.
Yeah, I could have sworn that that's what he said. I know Crow jokes around about that. Everyone loves Wall Street. I thought for sure that's what Mitch was saying.
We'll see what happens.
We got a Crow drop. Crow mentioning PWM, by the way. Still watching these stocks here. We'll check PWM real quick. That up 21% here today. PWM. Wiss and Crow, you guys were on this last week, weren't you? Big move here. Let's go TUP. Let's go TUP. Let's go TUP.
A little bit of NVIDIA to the long side there at 444.26. Want to see any pullback to 443? I can add it. I took a very small amount to start. All right, looking to see the Qs reverse back to the upside. There's the action that I was looking for. Soxtel almost back to VWAP. Apple looking like it's starting to come back above the 193s. Google looking good. I'm positioned for tech recovery. We'll see if it starts to make its way back. Soxal doing really well now. Looking for a little bit more pop into the 25s, and then I'm just going to sell out of all these Soxal because that will keep me what? That will give me a nice gainer, and if anything, give me a cushion just in case Apple and Google go into the red. But if Apple and Google go into the green, for
DFLI,
me, you push me forward.
DFLI took out that 274 spot that we talked about. Finally, it was a little bit of a wait, but it took it out here. Let's see if this gets rolling here. DFLI. Remember, I'm in this, but it's kind of a smaller position. I would have liked to have added if we came back to the VWAP, but we never got there. So just sticking with the rules, process-based approach, as always.
Order out at 25.05s to get out of Soxal here. 24.04s. Let's go. Get me fill. Let's get it.
Top back down to the VWAP. See if it holds this on top.
Ooh, just turned around there off the 25.04s. 25.05s, I think, hit the offer for just slight second. I'm looking for another little slight tweak there in Soxal to get out. All right, Tesla, nice little push there to 260. Yeah, that looks pretty strong there.
DFLI continuing to go higher here.
There's Soxal. Boom, baby. Let's go. Nice little trade there on Soxal. Back to 25.05 from 24.63. I'll take that any day. Nice little 7-cent stock back up and a 10-cent risk. What is that? Over 4-1 on the trade. I'll do it again if I could do it.
TUP back into its VWAP here. If it loses this, I'll be out of that position on TUP. DFLI working, however. Still watching both of them. TUP losing VWAP out, taking a small loss there. DFLI, the primary focus here. It stopped at 279 is your high print. See if we can bust above that on DFLI. The BBIG halted again to the upside for all you BBIG players. Weight Watchers is moving. Thank you, 13. Good looking out here. Nice little push away from the VWAP. By the way, TUP regained its VWAP. Still flirting with that level there on TUP.
All right, now I have a nice little cushion on the day. Soxal with a really nice trade. Valero with the swing trade. Now I'm looking for Apple to come right back to the upside. NVIDIA to come right back to the upside. And Tech to start pushing to the upside here. AMD is one that I could also see starting to make its way. It's back towards 110. I like pullbacks below 110 and then risking off. Let's say I mean, you can pick your level maybe there. 109.60s, 109.40s. I like AMD to reverse back to the upside today. Google, let's go. Let's start holding VWAP. Google's right around VWAP. I want to see it start making a move above that. Qs are right back above VWAP. Would want to see the Qs hold 376 now and just start to push back towards 377. If anything, make a quick run to 378 to show the quick lift back in Tech. Don't think it's going to take long if it comes back to Tech. I think it's going to be kind of a little quick move as it washed out some traders here out the open.
Still watching Weight Watchers is interesting, but also still watching DFLI. Thinking that this probably goes higher here.
All right, like always, you guys can check out Moo if you guys are looking to go ahead and get some free stocks. And we're about to get into July, got to get into August. So get ready, guys. There'll be some new specials for you guys. Meta's starting to make its way back there, and that just shows me more and more as you're starting to see these stocks come back. Will Tech get the lift? I'm looking for it. Let's see if it happens here. I want to see if Tech goes back to green. It's all about 0.08 down from the open, but it was down bigger. Now it's starting to make its way back to zero. I want to see what goes back into zero and stays in the green. Energy pulling back a little bit, so you could see some pullbacks in energy as you're seeing this rise in Tech.
Did anyone have any winners that's worth mentioning here? I know we've been mentioning a lot of stocks back and forth here, but did anyone get anything, whether it was top or APLD or any of that stuff? Would love to hear from the chat if you guys nailed anything here today. You can just type it in the chat if you did.
All right, Google's starting to get into the green there for me. Let's see if this can really start pushing. Now it's back above VWAP and looking good here as we start to see some of these tech stocks make a move to the upside. Not looking too bad. Stock sales pulling back there. We'll see if it gets to the next level to the upside. That looks interesting for me. And of course, I have Apple, so I want to see that continue to push. 194s, I'll take some profit. Look for this to keep going to the upside. AMD, can that really get pushing? We'll see what happens on that one. And I have some NVIDIA long, so that's looking good here. Let's see if we can keep pushing to the upside. You Tupperware guys. I see them. They nailed it. Oof. StreamYard a little slow today.
Sager plus 300 with DFLI. Let's go.
What is going on? Is that my computer? Might be Hendrix.
What's wrong?
No,
here, I can put my screen up. Sorry about that. Wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, something. I don't know. My screen's messing up.
AC 2000 hit BBIG. That's right. BBIG is going today. Excellent. Excellent. Crow, you hit BBIG and AMC. Becca hit BBIG. Let's go. You folks are the best. Folks are the best.
Gotta fix my computer here. Freaking Chrome. I hate you, Chrome.
That's all right, Sager. It's all good. What were you in and out on that on DFLI? That was a nice little move. Wait, did you hit the initial move or the second leg up? What was the entry and exit on that? That's sick.
All right, we'll see if CCJ can keep going to the 33s. NVIDIA is looking great for me there. Apple's looking good there. Just wanted to keep driving. I want to see if the Qs can make that big push towards 377 and just go to 378 on a big drive back to the upside. Amazon's still in the red. That's one that I keep an eye out for. If we continue to just drive back, will Amazon get the lift? Doesn't look too bad as it's pulled back towards the 128s at their recent pullback all last week. XPEV mentioned in the chat, not a bad one to keep an eye out for. Look at the NASDAQ making its way come back, so keep your eyes on that.
DFLI, by the way, my stop is now 274 as we broke above that key level and are holding there. So if this stock comes back in on me, I'm just going to take the gains at 274, but still waiting for this to maybe push higher. This is one of the ways I'm letting my winners run by putting the stop out there. It's not something that I normally do. I'm going to be able to kind of change and take a look at some other stocks. This trade hopefully continues to work, but if it doesn't, protect it to the downside on DFLI. Sager, amazing. Thank you. That's a really good scalp, man. 30-cent scalp. You did that well. Hats off to you, Sager. Great stuff.
NVIDIA pushing here. I think that's taking the lead at least to right back to the upside. Could hold off the 443s now and just let it just continue to work. It's looking good right now, at least. Looking to see if it's going to make a move to 449, 450s. That's kind of like the breakout here for NVIDIA if it really wants to go.
13 smoking Weight Watchers. This is exact. Oh, you guys. This is a good Monday. This is a good Monday.
Hell yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love this. Sager, glad we're helping, but please remember, at the end of the day, it's you that's doing the trade. So we're happy to help with the idea generation. That's one of the things Mitch and I promote all the time. But at the end of the day, you are the one who executes those trades. DFLI moving to 280 here. Let's see if it takes 280 off. This has been a good one, letting this winner run.
Apple running into a little bit of some resistance here, and take a look at the Qs pulling back now. So just be careful there. We don't want to see the Qs really break the VWAP there. Apple is pulling back here. Gonna look for it to kind of hold this 193s. Get back up there. Tesla, you're gonna take the next break? Oof, it's been pushing.
Hey, Shannon, this is exactly what I want to hear. Thanks, Rob, for a good Monday. That is correct. Thank you very much. Great call, Shannon.
Hell yeah. Netflix coming back there. That actually looks interesting for me to risk off of like 426 on a swing trade, just because it's been beaten down so much. And if we could have some, reversals in tech today, maybe this starts to make its way back. I don't mind off the 425s, 423 area as you're back into the 426. Netflix coming back.
Crow saying APLD's trying to break 10 here on APLD. Crow, great spot here. This 975 level. What was the high print? 984. This level right in here. I'm actually going to draw that. Good call here, Crow.
All right.
Okay, Ryan. What did the last two British Open winners lead the entire field in?
Dun dun dun.
What did I don't think I understand what you're asking. How long did they lead? Didn't Harman lead since Friday? I don't think I'm sure what you're asking here, Jay.
All right, NVIDIA trying to push here, and I'm going to look to see if Apple can come right back up there. Will the Qs come with a takedown? That's what I'm watching here on like kind of the 5 minute. If it holds 376, I still like it, but a break below that, and I got to start being a little bit careful.
APLD, this is interesting here. DFLI, by the way, for those of you that are like me, trying to let your small position win. Again, one of the things here is that if you recall, I didn't enter this right on the VWAP. I actually kind of went in there a little early. I didn't wait for it to come all the way back into the VWAP. That was right in here. The reason for that is because it appeared to me based on volume that it was not going to come back in. So I never know if that's the case. So I try to protect myself by buying less. That way, if it does come into the VWAP, I can add back to a full position. Now, DFLI took off without actually coming back in. So now my strategy is to let this winner run. I don't have a full position. I'm not making as much money as I would like to be with a full position, but the trade is still working. So it's my job as a trader to manage this. What I've done is I've kind of moved my stops up. I think if we set a new high here, I'll probably move my stop up again. I would put that stop at 278. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Moving up from 274 to 278. This has to do with protecting your profits, folks. Protecting my profits. This could turn around. It's a no stress trade. I was pretty much only read on it for a couple of minutes, and it was not really a whole lot. And now I'm just letting this work. So we talk about this all the time. I'm going to use stops to protect me while I continue to look around.
Q's holding in here, looking good.
Harman broke the record for fewest putts, minus 4 days, 108 drive for show, putt for dough. That's definitely the truth. If your putter is working, you're going to be able to go low. In fact, isn't Harman like not one of the furthest drivers? He's like middle to lower end of the pack in terms of driving distance, but his accuracy was just so phenomenal. We scared Mitch away with the golf talk.
Yeah, real quick.
Oh, Mitch.
Oh, man.
Mitch.
Yeah, guys. I don't hit balls with clubs. Hit balls with bats.
I'm not
Then
seeing any
it's-
good calls of the day, guys. It's like Disney, some Nvidia, some Tesla. There really wasn't big calls of the day over the weekend or big market movers. What do we have this week, Ryan? We have what in earnings?
Earnings
Google,
and Fed.
Microsoft.
Oh, you're asking which earnings? Let me pull my calendar up. Otherwise, I'm going to screw that
pull
up.
the calendar up because we have tons. And I think Tuesday officially kicks off because I think we have Snap, Google, Microsoft. I think those are the three big ones.
Don't think, bro. No. With Benzinga Pro, of course.
Oh, you had the graphic ready. Look at Mitch getting ready to just straight up swindle. This is what I
You
was
like
looking
that?
for.
There
I
we
do.
go.
I like that a lot.
Don't think. No, baby. That's what it's all about, right? You
Mitch,
know what I mean?
Where can I find that graphic? I actually want to tweet that out.
It's on the Twitter.
Okay, let me.
Benzinga's Twitter,
Okay,
of
thank you.
course.
Thank you.
It's on Benzinga's Twitter, of course. And if you're not following us
I shouldn't have
already,
even asked that. I shouldn't.
what the hell are you waiting for?
That was stupid, Mitch.
Nah, of course, guys, check it out. Definitely. And I definitely pay attention to this. I think if you want to be able to get the food, you got to know where it could come from this week. And definitely a lot of stocks here could be feeding us this week.
Is that the Taco Bell sound?
You know it, Ryan.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mitch making a run for the border.
Hey, you never know, man. They might be feeding us, baby. Microsoft, Alphabet, Visa,
Snapchat.
Waste Management. You know what's going to be an interesting one for me is that GM report tomorrow.
Yes.
So GM reports tomorrow, and I think that's going to be a very important report. So we'll see what happens there on GM. I'm also looking
Thursday.
GE is one that I'm looking tomorrow. That's going to be an interesting report for me. This has been stuck in channel station for the whole year. So we'll see if this kind of continues in the channel or not. Let's go to the Qs here as the Qs. What? Holding on here now, held the 5 minute, now holding the trend line. This is looking good for that continued upside in tech. That's what I'm looking for. We'll see if it can continue to hold.
Stop being.
Course, you got it, Ryan. What you got?
I was just saying, I'm moving my stop up on DFLI as it continues to grind higher here. My stop at 280 now. Again, all about protecting profits, making sure I don't lose on this trade.
All right, looking for Apple to get to 194. Then I can take half off and let for the trade to continue to work to 195. And then if I get to 195, take it all out and celebrate the trade, baby. We'll see if we get
more heading into earnings when they
no, because the truth is that I'm a trader, baby. I'm investing here.
So what are you watching for the conference call?
So one thing that I'd be looking for is when does Apple give me an opportunity where it breaks the channel? Apple's been in a channel since pretty much, I would say, March. Since the beginning of March, it's been in a channel. I'll show you guys that right now, as this is what I think is very important on Apple. So right now, I like Apple on pullbacks, and I like to sell the rips. So pullbacks, sell the rips. Pullbacks, sell the rips. Look at this. It does it all the time right now. And so channels are when you see this more often. And, I mean, look at GE. It stayed in a channel all year. And so things like this, I definitely don't want to miss. These channels, they're very easy ways to kind of trade stocks, especially higher quality stocks like Apple. Just buy on the pullback, sell on the rip. It seems like it's been working. All right, let's take a look at CCJ, see how that's doing, and just continuing the battle in the 70s. I'm still looking for a push through the 80s. We'll see if we get it today. That's my moo trade on the day. It's in the green, but not giving me that big lift that I'm looking for. I'm just waiting to see if I can get that push. All right, let's go to NVIDIA here. Keeping a close eye on NVIDIA. See if it can go higher through the 448. Apple, we get to the 194s. Google, holding well here, 123s. I could take the profits in Google, but I'm looking for that next step up. Above the 123s, going to 123.50s. This is actually one that I actually like more on the daily for a move back towards 124.
DFLI going for 3 here on DFLI. This
There
turning,
you go.
man. And so here, so this is one thing I want to bring up about this particular trade here is, again, remember the whole adding at a half size here. This is one of the ways that you can still make that successful. You guys know me, oftentimes 10, 15 cents in a scalp, I'm out. I take the gains, I move on. But when I have a lower position and it immediately goes green on me or goes green on me really quickly, it makes it easier to let that position run. That's what I'm doing here on DFLI. That's why it looks different than some of these other trades. If I was in here with a full position, I likely would have already taken my gains and missed some of this unless I kept a trailer on. Because the position size is smaller, the trade works out. We're just going to stick with the process here, let this grind up. Hopefully this pops above 3. 299 up.
Q's pulling back now.
I was going to say,
Big size at 3 on DFLI. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I didn't touch on this earlier, but Tesla over the weekend has started offering consumers 84-month auto loans after Musk said the car maker would quote, have to do something about rising interest rates. The company now includes 7-year loans as an option on its US order pages after previously offering loans as long as 72 months. While extending loan terms can lower car buyers' monthly payments, consumers tend to pay more in interest and face greater risk of owning.
3 on DFLI here. Sorry to interrupt you.
So I was going to say, Ryan, look, we can buy Tesla and you can finance it for 84 months. And, you know, that's an easier way than paying $54,000 in such short term.
I just took DFLI off. Nick, I'm sorry. I'll address that here in a sec. DFLI, I am out. Big winner there. Nice job on this trade. Anyone else that took this, congratulations. This worked out really well. This actually might set up and go higher even still. So keep this on your radar. Keep this on your radar. Going higher here. Oh, it didn't take long, folks. Nice little trade there.
Good job, my friend. Not a bad one.
That was Mitch, I think the best part about this, I mean, obviously the money's great, but the best part about this is that this is all about process that you and I talk about all the time. And this is one where it works out, kind of let it work for you. This is still going higher. Maybe I exited a little too soon. Still a really good trade.
Get that money and run, right, Ryan?
That's right.
I like it though.
That's right. And look, here's the thing. I've got the money in my pocket. Even if this goes higher, we're good. I know we're going to get more opportunities this week. Nick led by saying how busy of a week this is going to be. We're going to have plenty to do today. More on DFLI. Here we go.
Take that money, baby. All right, we'll see if the Qs can hold the VWAP here. It held that pullback to 376 just now. It went to 376.03. Now let's see if it makes the next step up here. A breakdown below 376, and we could get a bottom range test on these tech names where you're getting that kind of up and down move between the VWAP. Just be careful. It's one of those days, guys. Oh, and I got me some Biscuitville waiting for me. So I'm just like, man, biscuits waiting for me. I'm already thinking lunch or breakfast or brunch, whatever you want to call it. Biscuitville. All right, Q's holding on here now, trying to take the next step up. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Tesla, take the lead. NVIDIA, take the lead. Let's go. How's Netflix doing? It came right back towards 424. Google pulling back there. Seems like the Qs are just in a little bit of a battle right now. Energy bouncing off those VWAPs, so that looks good there. XOM's pulled back towards 105. That's kind of the level that I like there, 104.75, somewhere in between there. It looks good here. Pullbacks on oil. NVIDIA just got hit there for a small little stop out on this pullback. They didn't want to be in NVIDIA on the pullback there. I would rather be in Google and Apple. So just made sure that I wasn't going to lose on that trade. So took the smallest little stop out there. Like literally it's a couple cents. So it's not really even a stop out. I consider it more break-even trade. We'll see if Google can get back to the upside. That's pulling back here. The Qs are battling.
13, great job here. So the DFLI move really materialized. one of the things we talk about process, one of the things 13 is doing here, I think is real smart. Watch some of the other names that we've mentioned this morning. This would include things like Weight Watchers, BBIG, TUP, any of those names that we were watching that were moving on momentum. If DFLI starts to come in, you could see a rotation into some of those names. This is a spot up call. That's the wrong thing to say. This is a really good call here, 13. Appreciate this. This is something that I actually struggle with. Sometimes I take a name off my screen. I forget about the action in the morning, or I forget about the action that happened early, and then that ends up going later on. By the way, DFLI 325 high now. This thing's still pushing here. Awesome stuff.
One stock I talked about, pre-market prep, that definitely wanted a piece of it and just missed the action here at the gates here is BABA. As Chinese stocks start to rip higher, I really do think that you're looking at a nice opportunity here in tech. As this BABA trade starts to go higher, this actually looks pretty good. I'm going to be looking for any type of pullback later today, especially even 93s. I will take 93s and below towards 92s. This looks actually pretty good there on BABA today. JD also lifting here. I talked about these on pre-market prep. If you guys are missing pre-market prep, well, I don't know what you guys are watching in the morning to get ready for this for the stock market, because you're missing out on things like this, right? And that's what it's all about. Why did I talk about this? Why? Because China is going to be having these political meetings later this week. So it's like a forward-looking catalyst. And these are the type of catalysts that can really drive a market. Why? Because it's like kind of unknown news. It's a rumor, right? And rumors tend to drive stocks higher than the actual news themselves a lot of the times. A lot of times when we get the news, it's already that selling point. And if I look at the daily chart on BABA, that stood out to me like a rock, right? I was like, well, easy support to read on that chart, easy resistance to read, easy trend to read on this chart. Now it starts to push higher and look for pullbacks to 93. And we could fill this gap right back to the upside even today. 95.25s in reach. We'll see what happens. Not a bad looking chart at all. All right, let's see what else is going on in the chat.
Sorry, I pulled myself off there. DFLI pulling back here had a pretty big knife. What will be interesting is if this comes back into VWAP, we could get a setup for another long side trade here on DFLI. Remember, no position for me right now, waiting for another potential setup. Might as well take a look at top here. One of the things that's interesting about top is it is holding this 140, 141 area. We're coming back into that. This would be a spot to take a look at to see if this holds again. It's trying to bounce here again. We'll see if it actually reclaims VWAP. TUP might not be done here today. BBIG, by the way, still above 5 here. So coming back into the VWAP, we'll see here on BBIG as well.
XOM already VWAP bouncing there. We just talked about that play about 5 minutes ago, and it's a pretty good bounce already. We'll see if that can keep going higher, and oil names keep going higher on the day. So it's been a good one for me today. Day trading action on Soxel really going well. Swing trading action on Bolero going really well. Have about 6 positions open, so definitely stay tuned for a start swing trade later today. That's probably going to do it for us in just a little bit. We'll be wrapping up here at 10:41. And those biscuits are calling my name. We'll see if Amazon can reverse back to the green. Tesla's still staying strong here, guys. So I'll keep an eye out on that if you're looking for the Qs to go higher. There's the Qs bouncing. It went to 376, broke below. Now I'm looking for the next step up. Good look to see if Meta can go into the green, hold this VWAP, get right back up to 296. Microsoft, we'll see if that gets back to green. AMC, just can't do it, guys. You guys can have fun with that one. It could go higher here, but it's just not for me. WBD definitely taking a hit today. Also, Mattel taking a hit today. It seems like sell the news and buy the rumor in that type of stock. Speaking of OJ, I didn't even get my OJ today. I need to get it. Royal Caribbean coming back. This is looking interesting. It is starting to make a little bit of its way back here. We'll look to see if CCL can make another step up there. It's been holding the 1750 area as support. So if you're looking at that area to hold here, doesn't look too bad. We'll see if it can keep just pushing up. Airlines coming back here. American back down to 17s, almost to the area that I wanted. I wanted like 1650s, 16s. I wouldn't mind. Airlines back down there. All right, looking around, CCJ just holding in all day long. And so that's going to be definitely a swing trade on Mumu. Just going to keep holding it. But does it still look great? Yeah, it looks great there. It's just building up there for a move above 3280s towards 33s. Has a nice little flag pattern already on the day, about 47 cents. So a nice break from here, 50-cent breakout. That'd get us to 33.20s. If that happens today, I'm going to be looking pretty good there in CCJ. Of course, that's in here in Mumu. And you guys can see that already starting to get a little lift. You guys see that pattern right there. It looks pretty nice there. Nice little like kind of trend line that we can draw. I'm going to look for this to kind of take that next step up, but doesn't look too bad at all here. To show you guys this in full screen here, we'll look to see if this takes the next step to the upside.
DFLI is coming back in towards that VWAP. I've got VWAP at 287 here, current price 294. So we'll see if this comes back in, holds, and then maybe gives us another opportunity to trade. DFLI. Crow calling PXMD. That was one from the beginning here. I actually took a loss on this to start here. PXMD back above one, above its VWAP. PXMD, this could go here, Crow. Great job keeping that on the list after it kind of fell out of the gate here this morning. Good stuff keeping that around. Still watching DFLI. That's probably the primary watch here. Again, didn't quite get to the VWAP. This is what happened last time, and it just really kind of pulled away. We'll see if that's the case. No position as of right now. Looking around for some more stuff.
It's a quiet summer Monday.
Yeah, and when it's quiet,
I mean, is this the calm before the storm, though?
Yes.
Mitch?
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, I feel like this is going to be a busy week. Maybe that's just me. DFLI bouncing here?
No, it is. We have the Fed.
I think
tons of earnings.
I think at the end of this week, we're going to realize how much of a bubble we're finally in, and you're going to finally start seeing people call it a bubble. I've been calling this a bubble for 3 weeks now.
So have I, and I've looked like a moron doing it.
And everyone gets scared when I start talking about it. They're like, bubble? No, I can't use that word. Well, wait till the end of this week. I have a feeling that we're going to start seeing everyone mention that we're in a bubble. Get ready.
Should we issue a short-term call here on the S&P for this week?
The thing that I'm starting to see, and it's that I was talking about this on pre-market prep, and I have a tendency of not, giving too much of market outlook there. But this morning, Dennis asked, how do I feel about the market overall? And what did I say? I said, right now, you guys are seeing the tide lift all boats. And what do I mean by that? The bull market is just lifting all boats. That's literally what's happening here, guys. This is you could see it. Why? Because when tech gets hit, what do you see? You see energy start leading. You see financials start leading. You see utilities start leading. It's a rotation, ever rotation to the upside right now. If growth starts getting hit, they just go straight to value to the upside. So it seems to me like, especially like money managers and bigger money is looking for what? Probably potentially an all-time high in the SPY, even by the end of the year. I think that's why they're positioning themselves. And I could see the SPY just continuing to climb as everyone's just like, how the hell do we just keep going higher? Well, as simple as that. Bigger money is still to the upside, I feel.
Real quick here, Michael's asking, will BTC get below 28K this week? Michael, I'm going to start off by saying if I knew where Bitcoin was going on a week-to-week basis, I would be extremely wealthy and trading from a beach. I'm not that good with predicting that, but what I can say here is if we take a look at the daily chart, one of the things that you're seeing right here is a pullback to this 50-day moving average, which is the yellow line that keeps us at 29,000. Now, the last time we pulled back to that, we actually blew through that and we kind of rode down the 100-day, we rode down the 500-day moving average. We did find some support at this light blue line, which is the 100-day moving average. Got a little bit of a bounce before finally retaking that and going higher. So I can't say for sure if this is going to break beneath, but I'm actually expecting some type of bounce or support right in this area. Bottom end of that range is 28.4. So if I had to guess, I would say no. Please take it with a grain of salt with what I'm telling you here.
All right, seeing NVIDIA try to test down here. We'll see if it reverses back up.
Webcoin, your bird would even be rich. My bird would be receiving seed and treat sticks in perpetuity with Chewy's auto ship order, if that were the case. You got that right, Webcoin.
Social trading, where you been, man? Go hide it under a rock, man, because I've been talking about the bubble for longer than 3 weeks, man. If you want, I'll pull it back. I'll show you the clips.
Mitch is going to go get those receipts real quick.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Weight Watchers going. Good call. Oh, look at this. Look at this high break. 13. 13. What a call. Let's go.
I think Social's just new to the stream. That's what it is. Q's still holding the 376 mark right now. That's the spot. That's the spot to watch. I mean, you're getting these kind of little wicks to the up and down side of it, but it's not seeming like it wants to rip right back to 378.
Looking at AMC here, it does look like we're maintaining coming off of this bottom. One of the things that I would watch for here on AMC, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but this would be something to watch for. Look for this to kind of drift back up. You might, as that price happens, you might actually see some of that expanding volume here, and that might produce a pop or a tradable event here. Remember, let's see what the short interest is. 7.5 days to cover, almost 32% of its float shorted. This definitely a squeeze candidate if we can get rolling. Great trade there. 13. Great job. You guys are killing it here today.
All right, Q's holding in here. There goes the fucking Jay. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Of course, this is in the Moo account and going higher now. Looking really good here as we start to kind of push towards the upside. Looking for this to take out 33s. And if that can keep going, we'll be looking good. 32.93s by 32.96 for a second there. We'll see if it takes out the 33s. I'm looking for this to go higher on the upside. CCJ now making that upside move. Let's go. All right, we'll look for this to keep going to the upside. Valet also taking off to the upside. I've talked about this swing trade I have on, and we're looking really good on this one. Now up there to 1459 and really starting to push on the daily. This is looking pretty good. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
We'll look to see if this keeps going higher, but definitely, I mean, it's been that type of day where it's been a little bit of that trick to the downside. And now I'm going to look to see if later in the day or at some point we get that big upside move in tech. And I could see it moving against, like, I could see it moving for tech for a while. And then, of course, we got to be careful with the bigger reports later this week.
And of
Looking
course,
to
we'll
see if
bring you the
Apple can hold.
highlights right here on live trading the next day by, all of us.
Of course.
There are two things that are for certain. The sun's going to come up and Nick is going to bring us the news.
Yes.
That's the way I see it.
Yes.
That's the way I see it, Nick.
Unless I'm off and then you got to fill in. But I'm trying not to take any time off this week just because it is a busy weekend. It's always great to cover the big tech names. But, Apple next week. I don't know why just Apple didn't report this week to make all of our lives easier.
All right, just looking around, it's kind of a dull period, definitely in the markets today. And normally, I would probably just wrap it up, guys. But it's just been one of those days that we're going to keep going. We have, of course, the Trader Bacon show coming up next. But
Excellent.
On a real day, let's just be honest. This is that slow type of market where I would probably take off. I'd set stops and just walk away. That's just the way I would go about it on a day like this. Because what are we getting? We're getting a lot of chop at the VWAP right now in the Qs, and that's causing a lot of chop in the stock market overall. And so, with that being said, we'll see if we finally pick a direction. I'm thinking tech to the upside today, but to tell you the truth, we haven't picked a direction today. And so, just be careful out there. It seems like we're in the in-between game right now, and we'll see if we finally go higher or not. All right, it's about 10:54. We'll wrap up in about 2 minutes here. So if any of you guys got any wrap up you guys want to talk about, now's your chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same that I had from the beginning here. I'm going to be watching how some of these candles close on the daily, especially for the SPY. I, like Nick was saying, we got a tremendous amount of earnings coming up, plus Fed stuff. So I'm not necessarily looking to get involved or position myself ahead of that. I'm looking to kind of react to that with some shorter term trades and then reassess afterwards. That's kind of what I'm waiting for this week.
All right, I'll keep riding my CCJ, of course, in the Moo account. We'll look to see if I can keep pushing, and I'm gonna look to maybe even swing it. Right? Why waste a day trade if I don't need to? Right? Well, that's the way I'm thinking about it. Unless I get there towards the profit take of over $20 on the account, then I'm just gonna keep riding it higher, and that's just gonna continue pushing us in. Of course, the small account challenge up 25% there, while the benchmark is up about 11.8. So as long as I keep beating the benchmark, I'm going to be happy on this account and keep pushing to the next level.
ALLO, Jenny mentioning ALLO in the chat. I don't know if you recall, but 13 mentioned this a while ago. 13, I can't remember if it was just happy hour or if you did it in here. I mixed them up. I'm sorry. A high short interest here on ALLO. Although the days to cover has dropped to under 10 to 6.58, still 41% of that float shorted. This definitely a potential squeezer. Looking like it's really kind of out of favor here today, but worth keeping on your radar.
All right,
yeah,
guys.
Sager, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Real quick, Sager said, keep your eye on Lucid. I would agree with this. We saw Lucid make two pops here today, really has come back in, but held this level here. Lucid, this also getting some mention in chat rooms, only 14.85% of its float shorted, 2.7 days to cover, but definitely keep an eye on Lucid. Sager, I like that call.
AMC starting to come back there, 547 for you apes out there. We'll see if it keeps going and if it does actually make a move or not. I feel like, I mean, this is a little move there. It's about 8% higher, but just be careful, right? Because it is moving pretty fast on AMC today, and this is going to be moving all around today. We'll see if this actually recovers. 5 seemed like a logical spot today for the pullback, but I mean, hey, you're coming back all the way to kind of the price action that it was at. So is this trend broken? Personally, to me, it's not completely broken. It would need to go down to 438, but it is starting to work its way back. Is this something I want a piece of? I'll tell you right now, I don't. I think this is just a trap waiting to happen. But hey, hey, to each his own. We'll see if this can get up there back to 6, back to 7, and if AMC could really start moving. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Like always, you guys can keep up with all three of us on Twitter, right? You got Faloona, you got News by Nick. Of course, Nick Brown joining us like always, and he'll still be around for a while, guys. He's interning here at Benzinga, so if you guys don't know Nick, reach out to him. He's always willing to help out other traders, especially find catalysts in the news, and we're going to keep pushing to the next level. And then if you guys don't follow me, of course, Money Mitch at BZ, we'll keep going to the next level. We got the Sunrise Report also. If you guys are not getting your news in the morning by Benzinga Pro, well, maybe check out our Twitter. We do get a nice little wrap up there if you guys want to check that out. All right, let's go now to bring you guys to the Trader Bacon Show, where you guys get the bacon. And you guys, of course, that show is run by Zunaid in the background. So you guys know that there's some bacon out there. We'll see you next time right here on Live Trading. Stick around, team. A lot more for you guys to come. All right. We'll see you next time, team. Smash the like out there. Well, let's go over now to the Bacon Show.